Okay, we're almost ready to start. Hello, Robert. Good to see you. This is a track from 14. Yeah, this is the dungeon music for the dungeon we're heading towards tonight. Really just got to get us logged in first before we get started. I also want to pull up the MSQ list so I know what exactly we're doing tonight, quest-wise. It's in the title. It's literally in the title right now. One of my favorite like wintry area themes right here. Snowcloak as a dungeon is kind of hit or miss, depends. You know, it's an ARR dungeon for sure. But it's you know, it has nice music. And you know what? It's got some crazy big pulls you can attempt in it. So, you know, that's fun. Okay, and now I just got to do that, and we're good. Okay, now we just wait for the login queue to let us in. If I remember right, we were 3 quests out from finishing the last patch that we were working on. No, we were on recruiting the realm. That's right. This absolute nightmare quest that's super long. Okay, looks like 12 quests out from Snowcloak. If possible, it would be cool if we could finish the entirety of patch 2.4. Yeah, you can thank, what's his name? John Williams? I'm pretty sure. You can thank him for that bell sound. Conjurer's Guild. Oh, the game is not loading very well right now. That's interesting. Oh god, okay. And it begins. My audience with the Elder Seed Seer is due to commence momentarily. I would be grateful if you could once more see to the task of recruitment here in Gridania. After you deem the well of potential candidates as run dry, let us rendezvous with the airship ticket counter as before. Okay, only 4 of them here, and they're all on this secondary map. We should switch back to Scholar. I do plan on Warrior being used for an expansion, as like our main class, but that isn't for honestly like quite a while, so. Oh gods, can it truly be you? By what fickle fortune must the first face I see upon my release be yours? Could it be you don't remember me? It is I, Laurentius, the man whose crimes you exposed, as a whaler and a regular patron at bus Karens. Who? Laurentius, I was selling maps and supplies to the Garleans before you and those red belly poachers mopped the forest floor with my erstwhile employers. Here now, just how many criminals have you dealt with that my ignominious tales ignite not the slightest flicker of recognition? The less said of my past, the better, I suppose. And what of you, adventurer? What business brings you to this part of Gridania? Recruiting, eh? And what is your policy on reformed convicts? As matters stand, the Wood Whalers will have not more to do with me. This may be the second chance I'm looking for. Revenant's toll, you say? I shall leave at once. You shall not regret this, I promise you. I'm a changed man. I'm sure you are, Laurentius. Yep. Recruiting former criminals will not be a problem. Nope. I'm sorry, are we gonna try to recruit Ymitra? Because that's kind of what it looks like I'm about to have to do. No, someone's standing near her, though. Grandfather, miscall it a day. Let us return to the guild and rest ere your tormented back gives you up for good. I don't know who you are. I'm terribly sorry. We were just... Oh, Miku, is it? Nope. I don't know how you know my name. I've never met you before. Yeah, let's just recruit Zondi. I'm certain he's back already in the tower, right? The tower that we can definitely still go into? That tower? Zondi did die, yes. He's very dead. And we also closed the door to the tower. We could recruit Grahatia. He lived through that quest line. Kind of. He's still stuck back there, but you know. It has been some time since our paths crossed outside of Copperbelt Mines. Did they? I don't remember you. Why, you were barely more than a novice adventurer then, but look how far you've come. Mother Mion tells me it was you who felled the fearsome Black Wolf, and now you seek stout-hearted souls to fill the ranks of a new order, where your cause is undoubtedly just. Me and my old companion here would be much relieved to see me in good hands. Yes, I'll do it. It's the very thing I've spent my entire adventuring career working towards. I shall join your company just as soon as I've seen Isildar, this oldish guardian man, safely home. That person is named Nose. Imagine the bullying. Are we recruiting the old man sitting on the bench? Why are we recruiting him? You would offer this old man a place in your company of champions. I am both puzzled and honored at your invitation. I am also confused. Pray forgive me, young mistress, but I cannot accept. I have sworn to abide here for whatever scant years remain to me, and bear responsibility for the evils my lady has brought upon this land. Okay, goodbye. Who's the last one? Outside of the Lancers Guild. I don't know who this could be. Nope. No clue. Tis not often a guild officer such as myself gets recruited, and this company certainly sounds to have some promise, but Its duties appear less than focused. I must refuse your invitation until such time as your organization is more organized. Rejected. That one's rejected. Anyone with the letters C-L-I in their name are automatically rejected. What news, Miku? For my part, the elder seeds here was most amenable to our requirements, a former wood whaler and a seasoned adventurer. Our company will not lack for variety, that much is certain. An interesting harvest indeed. We described the criminal as a former wood whaler? Okay. No, that's fine. No, that's fine. That's normal. That's a normal thing to hide from Alfino, is that we just recruited a criminal who just got released from prison. Yep. And we're handing him a weapon. In a fledgling organization that's not organized yet. Amazing. Cool. Shall we strike into Ul'dah whilst the iron is hot? I think that's a bad idea. Let us meet at the Royal Promenade and endeavor to conclude our remaining business. Our journey draws to a close. Thank God. And he wants to meet in the worst possible spot. Ul'dah, the Gilded City, where one's fortune defines one's worth. I hope some manner of fortune is with us, and that this final leg proves as successful as the previous two. Might I suggest descending to the lower level before beginning your recruitment efforts? I do not think the Sultana will take kindly to us poaching from her personal guard. Let us meet back here at the promenade when our respective tasks are complete. Okay. And 5 of them. Well, at least they're all on the steps of Thal. And now so am I. That reminds me, we have a seasonal quest we have to skip through tonight. Oh, and a very strange little event is going on. You may have noticed this following me around. We have quite a few new minions. Including, among many others, Jibanyan and Whisper. The Yokai Watch event is back, and because the Yokai Watch event is back, we were able to get a glam piece that I actually wanted for Miku, but I was certain we wouldn't be able to get it. This very nice looking blizzard staff. I forget what this thing's actually called. The Staff of the Snow Maiden. In fact, you know what? We're going somewhere snowy tonight. We can wear this. You're the lady who came to Little Alamigo looking for that masked devil. Who knows what might have happened if you hadn't? I'd probably be dead, and a whole lot more of my friends besides. We were such fools. Any road, that disaster really got me to thinking about our homeland and about the outsider who saved us from ourselves. I realized how easily I'd been manipulated and vowed to make myself a more worldly man, so here I am. It does have Kingdom Hearts vibes. That is, yeah. It's kind of goofy and bright, you know? It feels very much like a Donald Wand. New company of champions, and you say it will take me to all corners of the realm. That sounds exactly like the kind of opportunity I needed. And don't worry, I am not the same stripling you met in Little Alamigo. I've prepared myself to fight the evil I know is out there. You know, not really remembering how this turns out, one of these guys ends up being a pretty significant ally for a little bit, and I don't remember which one of them. Head here first. It's crazy, by the way. I could extend A Realm Reborn even further than I already have, because... Oh, they're not here yet. There is an entire class we haven't unlocked that we technically have available to us with Blue Mage. that is usable through a Realm Reborn that we could be leveling. I'm just choosing not to because it's really annoying. What a happy coincidence. Do you remember me perchance? I'm Owerson of the Church of Saint Adama Landama. Thank you again for your timely rescue. I must also thank you for preventing that fraudulent priest from preying on dry bones less fortunate. A most upsetting business. Are you here with your companion? Thancred, wasn't it? Ah, his new companions you seek then. Your proposed organization sounds a powerful force for good, but my place is at the church with the children. Nevertheless, I wish you well in this undertaking. Miku was like, we gotta look for people I know. How about this nun? Like, oh. Okay. Why? Why are we recruiting a nun? I'm sorry, you wish to recruit me? Hey, wait a minute, I know who you are. Is this some new-fashioned manner of propositioning a lady? Well, I'm afraid you're wasting your time. This lady is already spoken for. Good day to you, miss. You were in the Hildebrand questline. I am so sorry for that. I didn't know you were also an MSQ. Over here it looks like. Company that looks to cure the ills of the Roman Tire. Listen, friend, I can scarce bear the complaints of the next stall over, let alone the conundrums of a neighboring nation. Okay, yep. I don't know why we recruited this guy. In fact, I hate that guy. Okay. You'd be surprised what rumors drift down Pearl Lane. I know of this glorious new company of yours and just how far I'd go to avoid getting involved with it. Whispers on the street say your organization is funded by corrupt coin, by syndicate money. If you think you're recruiting for a just cause, then you're a bigger fool than I took you for. Royal... Oh. Back up top. What a odd quest. I know that they wanted to give the player, like, some... I don't know, agency, I guess, in the creation of the new company, but, like, I don't know. Having me recruit that many people is just a little ridiculous. Yeah, no would have been more efficient. That's right. How fared you, Miku? What hidden gems did the streets of Ul'dah offer up to your unrelenting gaze? A single Alamegan youth? Well, you've certainly given us an admirable start, even if our ranks are yet somewhat thin. In these troubled years following the calamity, talk of Eorzea's salvation must seem akin to grasping at clouds. But there are those who have risen to the challenge, nonetheless, and the hope that inspires these people was born in no small part from the victories you yourself have won. Thank you, Miku. I will not squander the precious gift you have placed into my keeping. These recruits will become the foundation of a new beginning. And yes, we are free to begin. As you have no doubt surmised, the Sultana also graced my trial company with her blessings. Our first wave of recruitment is over, the document signed, and the finances secure. There is naught to prevent me from taking the next step. You were concerned by the Syndicate's involvement, as was I. Thus was the origin of every coin and their contribution carefully scrutinized and recorded. This organization will not be built on corruption. Oh, I'm sure. Naturally, I would prefer not to rely upon outside sources at all, but even my family's substantial coffers could not sustain a venture of this magnitude. As for the rumors and doubts surrounding this enterprise, well, such things shall plague us until the company has had a chance to prove its worth. It will not be an easy process, but we will earn people's trust one success at a time. Speaking of time, we should waste no more of it. Let us return to the Rising Stones and lay the first stone for United Eorzea. Well, at least you admit what you've done to me, Alfino. Oh, hello, Nanimo.
Tell me, General, what think you of Alfino's bold endeavor?
I think it is more than bold, Your Grace. His organization would pave the way for a united Eorzea. Well do I understand his impatience, since facing the common threat of the Ultima weapon, our nations have seemed farther apart, not closer together. Considering the many problems we face, should we not be glad that someone else is taking the initiative?
We have all pledged our cooperation, yet the grumbling continues behind closed doors. Ul'dah is not alone in her duplicity. I myself have doubts as to the good this organization will achieve. With the inclusion of the finest soldiers of the 3 grand companies, it promises to be a fearsome military body. But whom will it serve? Even under the watchful gaze of the Scions, it is not unthinkable that such a force could perpetrate a great wrong. Does it not concern you that a significant proportion of its financial backing came from the coffers of the Syndicate? That those unprincipled worms might forge this extraordinary gathering of warriors into a private army?
I have trust in the Scions, Your Grace. They have spared us no end of trouble at the hands of the Primals. If they seek reinforcements, I deem it unwise to deny them. As for their finances, full many gave generously. And though our nobles proffered a sizable sum, their coin did not spill from the pockets of Lolorito and his cronies. And what of the presence of our stalwart adventurer friend in this endeavor? I doubt the Warrior of Light would betray our cause.
Yes, there is that, I suppose. Yet I have known people to change. Whether we will or no, the events of the age hurl us this way and that, like a dust devil skipping across the sands. Cannot be done about Telechi?
I have explored all avenues available to us, Your Grace. But as Ul'dah law now stands, we lack the evidence to convict him of any crime. To arrest him on spurious grounds would only play into his hands.
He has all but committed treason, and yet we can do nothing? Then what good our government? What worth the royal house? How deplorable this mockery of justice!
I feel like I would remember this cutscene, but I don't remember this cutscene at all.
Have faith, Your Grace. It is not over.
And pray return to the Rising Stones, because of course. That is recruiting the realm done. Yeah, I also was like, where is the crying sound effect? Is it supposed to be playing? God, we still have 2 quests in this patch. That's crazy. What are they going to pad these quests with? That is not a journey I soon wish to repeat, but I cannot pause to rest. The culmination of all our effort at hand, I must see to the preparations before the inaugural ceremony. Thank you for allowing me to monopolize your services, Miku. I am certain the antecedent will be relieved to see you free from other duties. Yeah, so she can send me on a fetch quest. Greetings, Miku. Alfino tells me all is in place to begin his trial company. The Scions shall certainly be grateful to have the support of such an organization. The inaugural ceremony is said to take place here at the Rising Stones. Tataru is cooperating with Alfino to see that all is in readiness, so I'm afraid the recruits themselves have been left to their own devices for the time being. Of course they have. Quite a number of new faces have arrived in Revenant's Toll of late, and I wonder if Slathborn might not find himself overwhelmed. Do you speak with him and see if there's aught he requires? Kind of weird to see the Scions actually hanging out in here. They almost never do that later on. What can I do for you, Miku? I thought you'd have your hands full helping out with this new arm of the Scions. Ha! I barely noticed your recruits arrive, which was barely a trickle compared to the flood of treasure hunters we have passed through here every day. While I appreciate your offer of aid, 'tis more your burden that concerns me. I'm told this trial company will answer directly to the antecedent, so I trust that means less work for you in the long run. Slathborn, the shipment, we couldn't... And there's the fetch quest. God's woman, what befell? We were bringing a shipment to Revenant's Toll, provisions earmarked for the frontier effort. Oh. Just as we sought to cross over to Mordona, we were set upon by brigands. I believe they may have been heretics. Oh, that's an important word drop. Okay. There were many, too many. We only escaped with our lives by abandoning the supplies. Pray forgive us. There's not to forgive. Provisions can be replaced, but smart soldiers are hard to find. Take your rest, and I'll have someone along to tend to those wounds. What to do? If heretics are involved, then this is like to be more than a case of simple thievery. Ishgard will need to be informed. Whence did these supplies originate? House Forton? We collected the provisions from Camp Drakenhead proper. Understood. I shall see that they are praised at this development. Miku, were you not on good terms with the Knights of House Forton? I hope I'm saying that right. I'm honestly just taking a stab in the dark because I know it's a French word. I will be sending them a missive immediately, of course, but I would also have you travel there and offer your considerable talents. Yes, I realize I contradict my earlier hopes to lighten your load, but I need someone who can help bring this incident to a satisfactory conclusion. Our favorable relations with Ishgard are far too important to risk half measures. Thank you for your understanding. I am certain Lord Harchefont will be glad of your assistance. Right, okay, yeah, they need to reintroduce Harchefont during this patch, I suppose. No? Over here? Yeah, there he is. Well, if it isn't my fine friend, Miku, would you care for a plate of roast caracal? Some mulled wine? No? I see you've not come to my hall merely to escape the biting cold. I was, in fact, on the verge of opening an urgent missive from Revenant's Toll, and I suspect the timing of your arrival is no coincidence. I even sent the missive. I haven't opened it. Or, like, if you haven't, like, opened it and read it yet. I was clearly going to get there faster. Okay, whatever.
The incident with the new frontier hands? No, you need not elaborate. I have been following their progress with no small amount of interest. Brave men and women all. They do our nation a great service. The existence of a fortified outpost in Mordona will do much to dissuade the Empire from trespassing on Kurthus soil. Right glad am I that you have chosen to lend your support
Welcome to the
this
stream,
endeavor.
Ruby Raven.
Never let it be said that House Fortom does not acknowledge the efforts of her allies, or her debts.
Oh, okay, I was kind of right when
'Twas
trying to
in the
pronounce
spirit
it.
of gratitude that I arranged for sundry supplies to be delivered to Revenant's Toll. That the shipment should chance to be waylaid by heretics is poor fortune indeed. Poor fortune, I say, yet not without precedent. If you would know the truth of it, these incorrigible villains grow more organized with each passing day. This new unity of purpose we attribute to their leader, the Lady Iceheart.
Oh,
But though I have devoted significant resources to the task of identifying this woman, we have yet to learn so much as her birth name. What we do know is that the heretics speak of Iceheart in reverent tones, and would gladly embrace death rather than betray her. Such loyalty is rare indeed, and I fear to imagine what so committed a collective might achieve.
We are really ramping up for Heavensward. We are really starting to ramp up for it.
Brazen as to risk direct confrontation here in Dragonhead. Some few of their number have, however, been sighted not far to the west of here, and with ever-increasing regularity. A visit to Whitebrim Front may bring you the answers you seek.
Oh,
Will you brave the snows, knowing what implacable foes may lie in wait?
Javant, you're killing me. You can't
Hello,
send
these
me over
blessings
there.
be upon you. Though I take no pride in the admission, many of mine own countrymen are not so well suited as you adventurers to dealing with such foes. Were they dragons, it might be otherwise. But truly, I could not wish for a finer ally. You have done much for my house in the past, and I have no doubt but that I shall have cause to celebrate your deeds again ere long. Should you learn aught of value, pray return to me forthwith. A warm hearth and a warmer welcome shall be waiting for you.
And now we're over to Whitebrim for the 5 millionth time. I have had to go to this spot on this character over and over again so many times, all because of the stupid bravura. Like, and we're brought over here because some heretics stole some supplies that were inbound to Mordona, so yeah, no, I had to talk to specifically these two Levmates like 100 times for my relic weapon. This one in particular has a like very rare Lev that does not spawn like ever, as far as I'm concerned. Oh, I have to go in through the top. Technically speaking, I could just climb up the stairs, but like, why would I do that? He's right here. Miku, welcome, welcome. You'll be pleased to know that the repairs to the Stone Vigil proceed apace. We shall rebuild sure and strong, that the Dravanians might batter themselves senseless against our shield in the west. I would venture, however, that the matters of masonry are not what brought you to Whitebrim. On the trail of a band of thieving heretics, you say, by the Fury. But you do seem destined to cross paths with those villains. I must confess, then, 'tis a sad truth that the wilds hereabouts have indeed grown thick with their number. They strike swiftly, without warning, and are canny enough to evade our most able trackers. But 'tis not merely the newfound organization that confounds us. The heretics themselves seem oh my god. Blah, blah, blah. Seem somehow changed. Excuse me while I have a stroke. I know not what matter of influence this Iceheart wields, but the men we face seem utterly lost in the grip of righteous fervor. 'Tis an unsettling and unnatural zeal. Mayhaps you would care to question one of their recent victims. As fate would have it, your arrival came moments after a traitor is waylaid on the road. A patrol found the unfortunate fellow lying senseless in the snow and carried him to the infirmary. Assuming he has regained the use of his faculties, the merchant might recall some small detail that could aid you in your task. here. I love first-person mode. Nope, up above. Higher still? Yes. Tell you what happened? Why, yes, of course. I am quite recovered enough for that. Anything to help catch those cowardly Blackhearts. I was traveling my usual route to Whitebrim Front when a sudden blow sent me reeling. The next thing I knew, I was on the ground, and several heretics were rifling through my cargo. Arms, armor, crystals. They were taking everything. 'Twas then that one of them noticed my bleary gaze, and stalked over to better acquaint my head with his mace. Before the darkness claimed me, however, I distinctly heard the words, "Return to Snowcloak." I dare say that is where they were hauling my goods. But you'll not catch me rushing off in pursuit. They tell me 'twas a miracle I survived it all, and I'll not trust my thick skull to save me a second time. Down there. The 2 spots or just one? Like just one? With maybe 2 encounter points in it? I'm not sure. Am I missing one? Oh no, there's just 2 guys. Oh. There it is, the entrance to Snowcloak, right over here. Unfortunately, we're not ready for it, so... Wait. No, the dungeon entrance is... Yeah, it's like right here. This is a wall of ice that doesn't lead anywhere. Draw your weapon, foul. Wait, I recognize you, adventurer. You come seeking heretics. Then we share a common purpose. We were on patrol when we chanced to cross one of their raiding parties and pursued them here. By rights, we should have had them covered or cornered in this ravine, and yet they are gone, vanished like icy wraiths. Oh, yeah, right. The dungeon entrance is hidden. Why, hello, Iceheart. You glimpsed a woman atop the cliff. Could it be Iceheart herself come to sneer at our folly? I think that's actually precisely what she was doing. And to where did she disappear? The heretics must have discovered a passage through the frozen wall, some hidden tunnel that escaped our notice. We have not the men to risk further investigation. 'Twould be best were we to return to Whitebrim Front and lay our suspicions before Lord Zillamon. Okay. The Fate music is so loud. It's so loud. So much louder than, like, everything else. Miku, it appears I owe you my thanks once again. The surviving knights spared no detail in their report. The men you found near Snowcloak were some of my finest, that they should be bested so handily. I fear I have woefully underestimated the threat those heretics pose. While I understand you might balk at the notion, I must ask that you put aside your mission and consider the stolen provisions lost to us for now. Should be ill-advised to blunder unprepared into what may well be the very lair of our enemy. Pray return to Dragonhead and inform Lord Harchefant of your discoveries. He will wish to plan contingencies of his own. As for Iceheart and her fanatics, the freezing heights of Snowcloak will not shield them from justice for long. So funny that they take me up to the entrance of the dungeon for the next patch, and then they're like, but we have to turn around, and I should just be teleporting.
Your return is most timely. Of their own accord, my thoughts had turned to your task and the progress thereof. I confess, my imaginings tended toward the grim and bloody. But you are here now, and I suspect such frivolous wonderings do little justice to the reality of your travails. Tell me, what did you learn of Iceheart? Indeed, and this transpired at Snowcloak? Of all the highlands, that towering wall has borne the worst of the region's brutal shift in climate. So inhospitable has Snowcloak become that we have still to survey the area in its entirety. Could its frozen heights conceal the heretics' hideaway? Mayhap a more robust reconnaissance effort is in order. Putting such considerations aside for the moment, we still know far too little of this Iceheart. That she is capable of commanding such a band of fanatics bespeaks natural authority, and no small measure of charisma.
They are going crazy with the
As
cinematography in
much
this
as I would like
cutscene.
to fathom this mystery with you, the situation has grown beyond my personal purview. I am bound by duty to inform the Temple Knights and request that they bring this matter to its conclusion. Giving the glowing reports the new commander has garnered thus far, I am certain that they can be relied upon to take appropriate action. Though Iceheart's true identity yet eludes us, you have provided us with a point from which to begin. Sometimes it takes but a single stone to prompt an avalanche. On the matter of the stolen provisions, I have already made arrangements for a second shipment to be sent to Revenant's Toll. I could not well allow such an honorable venture to be undermined by one miserable setback.
Okay, goodbye, Harchafant. See you next patch, when we get there later tonight. We gotta clear Snowcloak tonight. That's like... It's like really important that we clear Snowcloak tonight. Miku, it's good to see you return to the Toll. How fared you in the frozen wastes of Kurthis? House Forton is to send us a second shipment. I must send thanks to Lord Harchafant for his continued generosity. Yet, even as our town grows in prosperity, I fear it will attract even greater numbers of those who would do us harm in the name of greed or power. What? No. All of us, Alfino's new recruits included, must remain vigilant against such threats. I think I'm out of uses for company seals at the moment. Okay, I like that this headpiece keeps the twin tails out, but like, no, it's ugly. I am taking the silver. While you were away in Kurthis, preparations for the inaugural ceremony were all but completed, although Tataru does yet seem somewhat flustered. I've taken enough of your time. Why don't you head into the Rising Stones and see if your frantic receptionist could do with a hand? Yeah, next week we're doing coils unsynced. So like, you know, I have it planned with a friend of mine. I'm really excited to do them, but if we don't get through Snowcloak tonight, it'll kind of throw off my schedule a ton. These parchments need to be sorted in these documents. Why are they even here? Oh, I am so sorely tempted to file the lot in my waste paper basket. Oh, Miku, you startled me. You wish to lend a hand? Splendid. Would you be a dear and hand these uniforms to the new recruits? They're scattered about Revenant's Toll, and I haven't the time to track them all down. The recruits that know to don their garb immediately and assemble here in the Rising Stone, or the recruits know to don their garb immediately, assemble here in the Rising Stones. You'll want to report back to Alfino if you don't wish to miss the ceremony. I wonder if the Scions will ever have matching uniforms. A well-funded organization is a well-dressed organization, I suppose. Huh. You know, I guess she does eventually try to see to that. Is one of them in here? No. Hello. Those who believe in this company will see no riches or short-sighted fools. The giving of oneself is an investment to the future. Thus did I sign my name to the cause. Here you go. These uniforms were a splendid idea. Once our organization has made a name for itself, there shall be wealth aplenty in selling replica costumes to the adoring masses. Okay. They... Up here? They are. Oh, hello, Laurentius. Thought it best to mimic my fellows here, but I admit I have no idea what we're supposed to be doing. Ah, our new uniforms. Yeah, I didn't think Tataru would, like, get on that, like, I should make Scion outfits, like, at the end of a Realm Reborn. That's not something she does until you're heading into Stormblood. It's crazy. I'm reminded of, oh my god, I'm reminded of my induction into the Wood Whalers. Yeah, Wood Whalers whose outfit you stole. Also, what are they looking at? Are they looking at the Crystal Tower, maybe? Because they're not looking at the Lake Dragon. Okay. You? The Scarlet Garb marks me as a proud member of the Maelstrom and a hardy defender of Limsa Lumensa, yet in truth I stand for the betterment of the realm and thought this new company a fine opportunity to contribute on a grander scale. Okay. I did not ask, sir. That's a striking shade of blue. Put alongside my Maelstrom uniform, my wardrobe will certainly not lack for color. The Maelstrom uniform looks kind of faded out here. Ah! Jump scare. I realized who I was talking to the moment I did. I don't believe we've met. I am Ilberd, and I will have the honor of leading my fellow recruits as captain. Much did I lose to the calamity, and I look forward to aiding others in rebuilding their lives. I'm sure you do. The uniforms are a shrewd decision. There is no easier method of creating a common bond among what is essentially a band of strangers. Uh-huh. I don't know. I just get the feeling I should light this guy on fire instead of, you know, letting him into the ranks. Hatsune Miku? God, I did not expect to meet you strolling about town. The tales of your primal battles were what inspired me to come to Revenant's Toll. It is an honor to receive this uniform from your hands. I shall wear it with pride. Okay. Hello, Wilred. Little Alamigo could learn much from Revenant's Toll, that this town can be so alive in the midst of such desolation. Never worn aught quite so voluminous. Well, I'm sure I'll grow accustomed to the extra cloth in time. Nope. I almost fell for it. I almost talked to that guy, just seeing, like, the quest above his head. Hello there, lass. Looking for me, was ya? I'd suggest giving a whistle, but I'm not sure as I'd hear it amongst all the bustle. Here you go. Oh-ho! Proper uniforms and all. This thing will cut off the blood to me head. Not to worry, though. I'm sure she'll be fine after making a few adjustments. And, didn't you say you weren't coming? Oh, wait, no. I have this person mixed up with the nun. Isildur has at last retired from the adventurer's life, though I shall miss his wisdom and irrepressible spirit. I am excited to forge my own path forwards. Ah, yes, the uniform. Thank you. Truth be told, the thought of pledging myself to such a lofty organization is somewhat intimidating. I half expected to take fall damage from that. Okay. Ugh. Miku has now officially interacted with Ilberd. The beginning of the end is upon us. Yes, Miku? Ah, Tataru mentioned Tataru mentioned you were handing out the new uniforms. I assume you've now met the rest of the recruits. There were 8 of them. Some few answered the call of arms I put forth through the established grand companies and such. We are not yet an army, but there is much a small core of elite warriors can achieve. Did I mention I'd thought of a name for our company? 'Tis my hope that it shall be known across the land, or across the breadth of Eorzea. The moment of truth draws near, Miku. Once the last of the recruits have gathered, I shall make the official announcement. Pretty sure Tataru's Seamstress arc is kicked off right after her subplot. I'm pretty sure it starts, like, pretty soon.
Comrades, your presence here this day signifies the momentous choice that each of you has made. With your strength now pledged to the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, you are beholden to no single nation. You stand as the vanguard for a united Eorzea. From this moment forth, I declare you Crystal Braves. Let us mend this fractured realm and face our enemies as one. Whether it be the Beastmen and their primals, or the conflict in Carteneau, it is plain that the nations of Eorzea cannot solve the problems which plague the realm. Thus does it fall to some few heroic souls to succeed where they have failed. Come, take your place at the Scion's side as guardians of Eorzea, and together we shall fight for the freedom of all! For the freedom of all!
Yep, what a good idea. Great idea, Alfino.
A rousing speech, Alphino. Or should I say, Crystal Brave Commander Leveilleur?
You shouldn't.
Please, Antecedent. The title is honorary. I shall not be leading the troops into battle, as it were. We are of the same purpose. Let us join hands and do what must be done to save this land.
The Scions stand ready.
The salute is bad. The salute is a bad one. I don't like it.
I'm eager to see what the Crystal Braves might accomplish. This shall prove an interesting time indeed for the Scions. Yes, I'm listening. So our worst fears are confirmed. The entire Isle. Such power defies comprehension.
Okay, now that line needed a second
Truly?
take.
Kryl is alive? Thank the 12. I see. Pray, inform me if her condition changes. Yes, I shall pass on your words to Urianger. My thanks. I shall contact you anon. When I learned of the loss of the Isle of Val, I dared not hope that my friend had survived. Yet, by some miracle, it would seem she has. She's still to regain consciousness, it is true, but better that than death. Putting this happy news to one side, we must now endeavor to make sense of the readings taken by the survey party. It appears the etheric disturbance which accompanied the Isle's destruction is of a magnitude alarmingly close to that of Ultima. Could the Ascians be responsible for this devastation as well?
That's a really interesting little point.
I wonder. Have you heard aught from the Mother Crystal since the battle with the Garleans? Then she speaks to neither one of us. Heidelin's silence portends naught but ill, I fear. Louisoix, I pray you yet watch over us.
Does this look cool? It should, but I don't think it does. What about this one? Not really. And this one? No. It's really interesting to hear them be like, yeah, the Isle of Val, was completely destroyed, and it seems like it was destroyed by Ultima. When you actually do figure out what did happen to it, it's like, what do you mean it was alarmingly similar to Ultima? What does that mean? Very good. See that the provisions are prepared for transport. Let us hope that the shipment is spared the fate of the last. The winds are uncommon fierce this day. Inside Ishgard? Is that where we are right now? I don't really remember this cutscene. Oh, yes. Yes, we are. Hello. We've got some good stuff ahead of us. Try as I might, I cannot shake a creeping sense of dark foreboding, but it avails us not to fret about the unknown. We must concentrate instead on the problems of the present. The primals have been relatively quiet of late, and the beast tribes who summon them are under constant surveillance by the Grand Companies. Should any suspicious activity be afoot, you may be certain that we will hear of it. And until such time as a permanent solution to the primal problem has been found, we can do little but wait and observe. As for the Ascians, Urianger is wholly dedicated to finding the means by which we may defeat the Dark Beings. Let us pray for good tidings on that front. But all of this you knew already. Let us speak then of more current matters, in particular the state of the Crystal Braves. Alfino did well to found the organization, but ensuring its smooth operation has been another matter entirely. Though I doubt not that he is doing his best, I felt that a helping hand or two would not go astray. To this end, I offered to send one of the Archons to assist him, but he declined. You know how he can be, independent to a fault, and singularly loath to accept help. Save, of course, when that help comes from you. Alfie knows entrusted countless matters of import to your care in the past, and I believe he would not hesitate to do so again were you to offer. I should be most grateful if you would go to him and support him in whatever manner you are able. Where is he? Oh, outside of the office. Keeping my eye on him. Hello, Thancred. What is it, Miku? And to be concise, I'm rather busy. It is kind of funny, yeah. We are doing coils next week, so it is kind of appropriately placed to a degree. You would lend a hand, you say? I see. Well, now that you mention it, there is a matter that wants for attention. Given its sensitive nature, I was hesitant to entrust it to my braves, but the demands upon my time are such that I had little choice. Which is not to say my men want for labor, though we are but newly formed, there is already a great demand for our services, and we are hard-pressed to answer all the petitions, but I digress. The fact is, I would sooner attend to this particular matter myself, but my presence is required elsewhere. That being the case, I have entrusted its resolution to my second-in-command, Captain Ilberd. Tell him that I sent you, and he would furnish you with the particulars. My thanks in advance, Miku. Yep. Yep, he's a good guy to entrust things to. The coils plot, let's see. So
Hail
it
to you,
should
sire.
be. Ah!
How might we serve you?
Oh. Jump scare. Coils takes place immediately after 2.0, immediately after 2.2, and then immediately after 2.4, so at the end of this patch. So yeah, that is kind of strange.
Commander Leveilleur bade you serve us? These are welcome tidings indeed. Given the sensitive nature of the task, I could not rely on one of my own. That which I'm about to tell you, I tell you in the strictest confidence.
Yes, Ilberd.
Some days ago, we received certain documents from an anonymous source. They notified us of the presence of a Garlean agent within the ranks of one of the Grand Companies. Following some discreet inquiries, we identified a suspect among the Immortal Flames, whom we detained for questioning. Alas, the man was not our agent. He was but one of many men in the agent's employ. We pressed the traitor for a name, but he had none to give. He claims never to have met his master, whom he knows only as the Ivy. He was, however, certain that this Ivy had coiled itself around every part of the Immortal Flames. It would seem our quarry joined the company some time ago, and gradually recruited others to his cause. These conspirators are the vines by which he learns our secrets, all without exposing himself. It won't be easy to identify the Ivy amidst this tangled mass of subterfuge, but we have a tendril in our hands, and we shall follow it all the way to the gnarled root.
Post
Now,
ARR
much
is
as
a
I would
bit
prefer
mixed
to
until it
proceed
all
with
comes
due
together,
discretion,
I would say.
circumstances demand that this matter be settled post-haste.
Like, so much happens in every patch, but it's like,
Garlemald's war
the
of
ending is
succession nears its
insane.
end, and it is feared that the Empire will soon resume its march on Eorzea. When it does, we can ill afford to have traitors in our midst. The Ivy must be rooted out now. We must begin by apprising General Reborn of our findings.
I would ask that you accompany me to the Hall of Flames and remain on hand to see that things go smoothly. Assuming the Ivy's tendrils are as widespread as we believe, he will be aware that an investigation is underway, and if that is the case, he may well move against us. We must be prepared for anything, while taking care not to betray our purposes by seeming prepared. A simple enough task for a one-woman army like you.
Okay. Yeah, Ilbert's Heavensward voice has always been struck me as a little bit sloppy. That'll be funny in like 40 streams when we get there. It was the accent. Yeah.
Well, well. What brings you here, my friend?
Wow, they are voicing a lot of cutscenes.
She is here at my behest. Greetings, Reborn. It has been a while.
I guess they gotta get some use out of Ilbert, huh?
Hilbert,
Before
you old
they
scoundrel.
change the voice actor.
When they told me you'd be visiting, I scarce believed my ears. But look at you, the honored captain of the Crystal Bloody Braves. Who'd have imagined, eh?
Not many, but fewer still would have imagined your destiny lay in politics, old friend.
Aye, we've both come far, have we not? Lest you wonder, Hilbert and I go back a long way. We've been friends and rivals since we were lads. The last time we saw each other, Alamigo had just fallen, so you can guess how many summers it's been. And in all that time, not a word from the fool.
Ah, well, my dealings tended toward the modest and mundane, unlike some I could mention. As I hear it, no sooner did you reach Thanalan than the brass blades clapped you in irons and dragged you off to die on the blood sands. Being a stubborn sort, you won 1,000 matches and earned yourself a place in the people's hearts while you were about it. Then, with your mountain of prize money, you bought the Colosseum and secured a seat on the Syndicate. Those balls, brother! Rags to riches does not do it justice. You're a hero to the common man.
We are not calling these two toxic yaoi. No
Spare me.
way.
I am no hero. If anyone is worthy of that title, it's our friend here. Next to her, I'm little more than a glorified butcher. But you, Ilbert, you sell yourself short. By all accounts, you are an adventurer of some standing.
I like to think that I did my part for the greater good. But if you're no hero, then I'm no adventurer, not in this company. Anyway.
What do you mean, why not?
I have
Ilbert's
tidings.
here.
So there has been progress. I've let it be known that this meeting is a reunion between old friends. None will give your visit a second thought. To convene elsewhere would only attract attention. Let us speak here, in plain view of all.
Uh-huh.
So it is we who have been compromised. Teleji Adeleji's machinations have shaken Ul'dah to her foundations. In such uncertain times, a man's loyalty may be bought for a fistful of gil. But if this snake has truly been in our midst for as long as you say, we must needs consider a far graver possibility. Conspiracy. Could it be that the Monitarists have been in league with the Empire from the first? Very well. I will have my most trusted men investigate the matter. Continue your inquiries in the meantime. It does me well to see you again, old friend. When next we meet, let it be over a flagon of ale.
I look forward to it. Let us reminisce of bygone
Foreshadowing
days
is a literary
and
term.
drink to the future of our homeland.
Yeah, God forbid anyone's loyalties purchased for a fistful of gill. I mean, could you imagine what kind of monster it would take for someone's loyalty to be purchased for money? Glaring at Ilberd the entire time I'm
Flames
saying
ever.
it.
You wear the mantle well, old friend. I must work hard if I'm to keep up.
I should be lighting
It
you
would
on
seem
fire
your
right now,
services were
Ilberd.
not required after all. I dare say we have Roban's prudence to thank for that. Still, I was glad of your presence. My thanks, Scion.
Okay. Our hunt for the Ivy begins in earnest, Scion. Suffice it to say, we must tread warily, but one misstep may well cost us our lives. Our business here is concluded for the time being. Let us return to the Rising Stones and report to Commander Levier. He did have a mission, that's true. The man may be a jackass, but he is at least a complex jackass. So we returned from Ul'dah, Commander. Not a moment too soon, something has happened. Trouble? You recall that the Fourth was tasked with reconnoitering the rendezvous site used by the Ivy's minion and his Imperial contacts. Soon after you left, we received word that the unit was ambushed en route to its destination. Man's jackass, yeah. God's damn it. According to the report, one of ours has been taken captive. The Garleans are not wont to treat their foreman with dignity, and I have grave fears for her safety. We must dispatch a rescue party at once. Recall those braves who are afraid. Begging your pardons, Commander, but we have not the time. I'm afraid I must ask for your aid once more, Scion. An ill-prepared rescue party will only serve to provide the Garleans with more captives. Yet time is of the essence. Simply put, you are their best chance we have. Captain Ilberd has the right of it. I trust you are willing, but of course you are. Now, Alian of the Fourth lies in wait in the Tangle, near the entrance to Castrum Sentry. Seek her out, and she will appraise you of the situation. How many more quests? Oh, nope. We need to manually walk out. Miku doesn't have any gills, so I'm not wasting any. We're on back and forth. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 quests until we reach our destination for the evening. Where's the Mordona music? Hello. You would aid us on the rescue mission? We are in your debt, Warrior of Light. Now, as time is against us, allow me to brief you on the situation. The Garleans fell upon us without warning, wounding poor Resh and hauling her away to the castrum yonder. Outnumbered as we were, It was all we could do to flee and regroup. Even as we speak, Garleans may be interrogating Resh. Or worse. With her hurts, I fear she will not long survive their attentions. We must rescue her without delay. Our order may yet be in its infancy, but the bond that binds us is strong as mithril. None of us will stand by while a comrade suffers. We, the remnants of the Fourth, will infiltrate Castrum Sentry. Please help us find Resh before it's too late. Oh. Okay. I was like, oh, I wonder if that guy's on the same step of MSQ as us. And then he started fighting one of the mud puppies. Oh. You know, I bet this was harder once upon a time. But, like, as it stands, I could literally just skip that whole thing. Oh, where the hell am I? Fresh, thank the gods we found you. And thank you, Warrior of Light. Now to quit this accursed place. Resh cannot move with those wounds. You'll need to be carried out. I believe a diversion is in order. Might we trouble you to provide one? Given your reputation, I suspect the Garleans will be only too happy to grant you their undivided attention. If we were to create a commotion within the castrum, we should be able to steal away unnoticed. Let us speak again once we are safely outside these walls. Well, at least this little section feels like kind of short, you know, comparatively. That conversation with Raoban felt kind of like when you, like, your mom is, like, talking to a friend of hers in the supermarket and you have no context for anything they're saying and you're just kind of standing there and, like, staring at the floor, doing nothing. Oh, they paralyzed me. Oh, they paralyzed me. That one paralyzed me. Why am I casting Blizzard 2 at it? There. 1 of 3. Is there a better class for this? Probably. Come on, drop aggro. Thank you. Ninja. Ninja would be much better for this. Although, I don't have Ninja at that high of a level, so... Oh my god. I say that high of a level. I'm still level 50. Probably also could have summoned my Chocobo, but it's fine. It's fine. Didn't need him. This class feels so strange at level 50. There you are. Okay. Anyways, I've awaited your return most anxiously, my friend. You have done us a great service indeed. Thanks to your aid, our comrade Resh is saved, and we suffered no further casualties. Words cannot well express my gratitude. All that is left is to report the mission's success to Captain or Commander Levier. I shall go ahead to the Rising Stones. Yeah, okay, I'm just teleporting for this one. Saves us some time, which I'm concerned about. Switch back to Scholar, just so we're in the right outfit. It does me well to see you thus returned, though I doubt not your prowess. Entering an enemy stronghold is generally considered to be a risky venture, and I must confess to having been a trifle anxious. But here you are, hale and whole, having succeeded in your mission, as is your wont. Lest you wonder, the woman you rescued is being cared for by the Domans. Thanks to their expert ministrations, the danger is past. You have my gratitude, Miku. Allow me to thank you also, Scion. Resh owes you her life. We escaped with minimal casualties this time, but we can ill afford to be caught off guard again. The Empire is not an opponent to be trifled with. As you say, Commander, I will see to it that the men keep their wits about them. And it may yet take time, but I will not rest until we have identified and apprehended the Ivy. I have every confidence that you will succeed, Captain. As for you, Miku, I realize you have scarce caught your breath, but I'm afraid there is no rest for the weary. I require that you accompany me to Kurthis. I have been granted an audience with an Ishgardian dignitary, you see, and the man expressly requested your presence. Oh, do not look so surprised. You should be familiar with the trappings of fame by now. We shall depart as soon as you're ready. Yeah, I wonder who that could be. It could be anybody. God, it could be anybody. Oh, right. Yeah, this is when you get introduced. We have been blessed with a rare opportunity, Miku, an audience with an ambassador of the Holy See of Ishgard. We are to treat with Sir Amaric, a Lord Commander of the Temple Knights in Camp Dragonhead. It is considered a great honor to serve the Holy See directly as a Temple Knight. Needless to say, their leader wields tremendous political influence. We could be wise to... we would be wise to court his favor. They're just introducing all of the goats of Heavensward, like, in a row, okay? For that reason, I consider your attendance essential. If Sir Amaric wishes to meet the woman behind the legend, I would not deny him the pleasure of your company. The antecedent should see the wisdom of this plan when you request her permission to accompany me to Kurthis. Mayhap you feel this is waste of your talents, which could doubtless be put to nobler use? If so, I should remind you that more good can be accomplished with the stroke of a pen than the thrust of a sword. Okay, but I am never asked to use a pen on the primals. Not yet, anyways. Eventually I'll have to use a brush, I suppose, but... Yeah, no, Stormblood doesn't even get this much. A meeting with an Ishgardian ambassador. By all means, I think it a wonderful idea. We have received no reports of aetheric disturbances or unusual beast tribe activity of late. If Alfino believes your presence may help him secure more favorable terms, I see no reason to deny him. Why am I getting cutscened now? What? Antecedent, I take it Miku has explained the situation. She has. Yet welcome though these overtures are, I cannot help but wonder what prompted them. The Ishgardians have spurned all contact with the other city-states for decades. Why reach out now? Would that I knew. The question of their motives is one to which I have given no small amount of thought. Alas, I know no more than is generally known. The notoriously reclusive nation of Ishgard, situated at the center of Abelathia's spine. Ruled by the Ishgardian Orthodox Church, at the head of which now presides the Archbishop. Members of the original Eorzean alliance, formed in the wake of Alamigo's fall some 2 decades ago. Friends of Convenience, who withdrew from the alliance as soon as the Imperial fleet was routed at the Battle of Silvertear Skies. Since which time their borders have remained closed to all outsiders. They have rejected every one of their former allies' calls to reopen dialogue, turning a deaf ear to their neighbors' pleas, even when the calamity loomed large. And on the fields of Carteneau, where brave men and women laid down their lives in defense of the realm, their banners were conspicuously absent. I have tried to convince Ishgard to rejoin the Alliance at every opportunity. I have explained over and over again that unless Eorzea stands united, we cannot hope to preserve our freedom. One by one, our nations will fall, as once fell Alamigo. And what have mine efforts yielded? Why, not. Surely this can be considered a step in the right direction. I should hope so. Rather than the lowly messengers we have been fobbed off with in the past, this time I shall meet with a man of genuine influence. Of course, I am not so naive as to think that they come to us out of the goodness of their hearts. We have something they desire, though I have yet to find out what. But such is the nature of diplomacy. They will bring their agendas to the negotiating table, and so will I, along with a handful of incontrovertible truths. The Empire will soon be at our doorstep once more. Indeed, you may be assured that I will expound upon this point and others. Let us depart for Camp Dragonhead, Miku. Our old friend Lord Harchefant is expecting us. Since our quest to recover the Enterprise, I understand you have further ingratiated yourself with the man. Excellent work. His fondness may prove useful to our cause. Yeah, fondness. That's a way to put it. Yep. Uh-huh. He's the character who gets the second most horny over the Warrior of Light in the entire game. He loses out to a certain blonde man somewhere in his own strange way, but... Ah, Miku, ever a welcome sight. Our hearths have been stoked to blazing in preparation for your arrival. It would not do, sir, oh my god, it would... It would not do for such a distinguished personage to catch a cold whilst enjoying our hospitality. Yes, you have. His idea of horny is a little bit different from everyone else's. In that it's less like, I am attracted to this person, and more like, I cannot wait to bathe in each other's blood kind of horny. The gesture is much appreciated. I fear I shall ever struggle in cold climes. Ah, good Master Alfino, an honor as always. Likewise, Lord Harchefant, forgive us yet another imposition. I fear we have relied overmuch on your aid since you so generously assisted us in locating the Enterprise. Nonsense. Any debts incurred... Oh my god. Debts incurred... I cannot speak tonight. Have long since been repaid. Besides, who can say what the future may bring? House Fortom may even seek the aid of your newly formed Crystal Braves. In any case, I am simply delighted that the Holy See is at last willing to grant you an audience. No doubt your discoveries at Snowcloak helped to justify the decision. This recent resurgence in heretical activity is of grave concern to us all. But to the matter at hand, Sir Amaric arrived in Camp Dragonhead earlier, and I am told he is eager to meet with you at your first convenience. You are doubtless weary from your journey and desirous to rest a while by the warmth of our hearth. But if you are willing to forego such comforts, pray inform the knight stationed outside the intercessory. He will grant you entrance and send word to the other attendees. As inviting as your hearth sounds, I think it best we proceed to the intercessory forthwith. Just around the corner here. Really weird quest spot. Very strange. Oh, this person's on the same quest as us, I think. We've been expecting you, madam. Pray take your ease inside, and I shall summon the others. There. Now the question is, does Americ have an ARR voice? Let's find out.
Have faith, my friend. You need only state your case with confidence and clarity.
Forgot. I completely forgot. I looked away for a second, trusting that the cutscene would keep going, and it didn't.
Commander Leveilleur, it is both an honor and a pleasure to meet you. I am Emeric, Lord Commander of the Temple Knights.
Alphino Leveilleur, at your service.
This is a cursed-ass
Your
cutscene.
reputation precedes you, Sir Emeric. I think we will find that we have much in common.
Speaking of reputations, yours towers over us all. Does it not?
It does indeed, Lord Commander.
I am not too proud to admit that I have followed your activities with an interest bordering on fascination. Full glad was I to learn that you would be joining us. Now then, shall we begin?
We know full well that the Garleans will return in force ere long. What is more, we have yet to achieve a lasting victory over the primal menace. The beast tribes continue to summon their gods, and each incarnation is stronger than the last. Ishgard is not immune to these threats. I must reiterate that it would behoove your nation to rejoin the Eorzean Alliance.
Once again, I must respectfully disagree.
On what grounds?
Despite their presence in Kurthus, the Ixal do not concern us. Their territorial claims pertain to Gridanian lands, and it is the people of Gridania whom they harry. Consequently, the Holy See judges this to be a Gridanian affair, and Ishgard does not intervene in the internal affairs of other nations. Even were that not the case, our forces are wholly committed to the Dravanian conflict. We have not the knights to spare. As for the Garleans, we are not ignorant of history. We have observed the rise and expansion of the Empire, and we agree that it is only a matter of time before they resume their campaign in Eorzea.
Then surely it would be in our best interests to present a united front.
Mayhap one day, but not yet. Gaius van Belsar is dead, and the legion of conscripts he left behind lacks the will to fight. We think it highly unlikely that they will emerge from behind the walls of their castra for some time.
Forgive me, but if Ishgard's position has not changed, why did you agree to this meeting?
It was not only as a representative of Ishgard that I came here.
Pardon?
It is not within my power to change Ishgardian policy, regardless of my personal feelings. There is, however, one area in which I may exert a measure of influence. Concerns have been raised over the supplies House Fortin has offered to Revenant's Toll. These have led to calls for restrictions on the provision of aid to foreign powers. I can ensure that the shipments continue unabated.
Sir Emeric, we would be in your debt.
No, you would not. For I require something in exchange. Of late, there has been a flurry of Dravanian activity, the purpose of which was not immediately clear. However, our astrologians have since observed alarming changes in the heavens. The dragon star waxes unnaturally bright, and there are whispers that it portends the resurrection of Midgard-Sorma.
The fallen guardian of Silvertear Falls? That's absurd.
Full many times have I gazed upon the dragon's corpse still wound around the Agrius, and wondered how different our world might be if it yet lived to plague the skies. I do not know, and I do not wish to know, nor does any son of Ishgard. Yet the mere presence of Dravanian forces is not sufficient grounds to send knights to Mordona, whatever our astrologians say.
Next patch is a roller
As I
coaster.
told you before, we have not the forces to spare.
But we do. So you will intervene on our behalf if we agree to watch over the Keeper of the Lake.
Do you accept these terms?
I do. I will see that you are kept abreast of any developments. I regret that we could not come to a similar agreement on other matters, but I understand that you are not at liberty to make such decisions. Nevertheless, I hope that what we have accomplished here today will serve to demonstrate to your countrymen that we can work together towards a common goal. Mayhap one day we shall look back on this moment as the first step towards a united Eorzea.
Mayhap we shall, Commander.
What is the meaning of this?
The caravan, my lord. It's been attacked. It was Iceheart, my lord.
What?
Now the patch
By the
really
fury.
starts.
All our precautions were for naught?
I don't think I care about any of these. We're almost there. Oh, just when we were starting to make progress. And to make matters worse, the caravan they spoke of was bound for Revenant's Toll of all places. Honestly, were I so inclined, I should think the gods were conspiring against us. Happily, however, I am not. I would know more of this attack. Let us speak with Lord Harchefont and find out what he has learned. My sincerest apologies for the interruption, my friends, but the situation is such that we must act swiftly. If you would be so kind as to elaborate. Iceheart's heretics fell upon the caravan, bound for Revenant's Toll as it was passing through Boulder Downs. 'Twas an ambush, swift and ruthless. In an instant, every knight was slain, every crate seized. Then, as quickly as they had appeared, they were gone. 'Twould be an impossible feat without knowledge of the route. Knowledge which only a select few are privy, I assume. Quite. We can, oh my god. We can pursue that avenue of inquiry in due course. It seems to me that examining the scene of the ambush should be our first concern. The trail is yet warm. We must act swiftly, as Lord Harchefont said, lest crucial evidence be lost. You have a knack for discerning hidden truths, Miku. Yeah, they kind of glow in front of me. Why don't you go and inspect the ambush site in person? An excellent idea. Inform my men of your intent upon arrival, and they will gladly share their findings. I don't know that that needed to be a full cutscene, but sure. Said it was in Boulder Downs? Oh. Oh, that's so far away. Hold on. Hmm. Weird. Okay, I must have missed that quest. Ooh. When I was, counting out my quests earlier. Anyways. Move along, adventurer. There's nothing for... Eh? Lord Harchefant bid you speak with us. Then you must be... Beg your pardon, Scion. As you can see, they left nary a crate behind, tipped the wagon for good measure even. Whole thing's a bit odd if you ask me. Would have been just easier to steal it, though a damn sight harder to conceal it, I'll allow. Reckon they came prepared, probably with wagons of their own hidden away off. But, pay no heed to my ramblings. Absent of proof, 'tis not but speculation. Might be as the squire receiving care at the observatorium could tell you something more factual, that is, if he's awake. Unlike myself, he was there during the attack. Not that his presence amounted to much. Yeah, okay. Upstairs? There you are. You've come to ask about the attack, haven't you? We came upon them before the entrance to the Hall of the Seven Echoes. Pilgrims we marked them as, lost and ill-equipped for a journey further north. Our leader called out to them, and one stepped forward to answer. Slowly she approached, her silver hair flowing in the wind like melting snow. Just a young girl, I thought, some poor lost lamb in search of salvation. Our leader must have thought the same, else why would he let her draw so close? They exchanged some words I couldn't hear, and she leaned forward as if to kiss his cheek. Then he sighed and crumpled to the ground. I didn't know what had happened until I saw the snow turn red, and then there was red everywhere I looked. I tried to fight, but took a blow to the head, and by the time I came to, the others were dead, and the heretics were unloading the wagon. They'd have killed me, so I just lay still and listened. Ice Heart's people spoke of deliverance and resurrection, and they spoke of Shiva. Oh my god, the game is really getting started now. We're getting into that good shit. You know, there are endless debates in the community about how good ARR is or how bad ARR is, right? But it's like really undeniable that once you get to Heavensward, the bar gets raised considerably. Ah, you've returned. What news have you for us? Seems the Lady Iceheart does not scruple to sully your hands with blood. Who is this Shiva the heretic spoke of? Have you not read a single line in the Enchiridion, Master Alfino? Shiva was a traitor to kith and kin, an apostate who lay down with dragons. Now, we cannot expect all foreigners to know Ishgardian scripture so well, particularly when it concerns the patron saint of heretics. Wait, you say she is their patron saint? Oh no, it all makes sense now. Lord Harchefant, what was that caravan's cargo? If I recall correctly, the Diamond Forge had requested a rather large quantity of crystals. Do you not see? Iceheart and her followers intend to summon Shiva, as a beast tribe would a primal. Why else would they go to such lengths to secure crystals? I shall inform the Lord Commander at once. Lord Harchefant, would you agree that discretion is of a paramount concern? Of course. ARR is the 50-hour prologue, that's true. I trust we can count on your continued support, Master Alfino. The Scions of the Seventh Dawn are sworn to combat the primal threat. Our support is a given. I will need to send word to my brethren in Revenant's Toll. Our entire order must turn its efforts to the prevention of its summoning. Naturally, that includes you, though I am sure you would not miss this for the world. Shiva? No. Yeah, good for her, honestly. Good for her. Okay, there's now a Rogadin standing over where I had to talk. Hello, Gobnik Disaster Toes. The name's in here, I swear. The persistent attacks on our caravan seemed like little more than a nuisance at first. The heretics were a problem, to be sure, but a relatively minor one. That was before I discerned the purpose behind their attacks. Of course, now they have my undivided attention. After apprising Minfilia of the situation, I shall summon a unit of Crystal Braves to assist us. As for you, Miku, pray join me on the White Brim front. Since the incident at Snowcloak, the Knights of House Durandare have redoubled their reconnaissance efforts in the region. It is my hope that they have information which may help us to determine precisely where the heretics are hiding. Given our mutual enemy, Lord Drillamont should be eager to oblige us. I shall see you there then. Good. I hope that the story is that he was raised by goblins. I really do. Because that is a goblin name. That is such a goblin name. I love the goblins. They don't get much screen time these days, I feel. But, God, I love them. We got some scraps. We got some scraps in Dawn Trail, I suppose. Although those technically were moblins, not goblins. Oh, if we know, how the fuck did you get here so fast? Scions of the Seventh Dawn wish to join the hunt for Iceheart. Your assistance is more than welcome, my friends. Considering the report I just received, I dare say your timing could be no better. We're all ears, Lord Gillamon. A band of pilgrims was seen transporting a large number of crates to the west. Their garb appears to have match the description provided by the squire who survived the attack. Alas, our scouts lost track of them at Snowcloak. That self-same frozen wall, which we speculated might conceal the heretics' hideaway, suffice it to say the disappearance of these pilgrims and their provisions all but confirms our suspicions. I have heard enough. My knights will join the hunt. I took the liberty of summoning a unit of Crystal Braves to White Brim Front. Given the gravity of this situation, I trust you will agree that we must use every resource available to us. These are extraordinary circumstances, Commander. It would be in our best interests to coordinate the efforts. Such was my intent from the start, Sir Amaric. And so it begins, my friend, though I dare say it will prove an all too brief collaboration. Iceheart will not elude the combined forces of the Crystal Braves and the Temple Knights for long. Nevertheless, a wise man does not wager upon the success of a single solution. There may yet be subtler means by which we can locate the heretic's lair. Mayhap Lord Gillamon has one in mind. Any reason to give me another quest, huh? Yes, yes, excellent. My lady, everything has been accounted for. If there is aught else you would have us do, pray speak, and it shall be done. She didn't move during that cutscene. Seems as though we are always one step behind, our quarry ever just beyond our reach. Though I would like to believe that the tables are bound to turn, I must confess to having certain doubts. A joint effort may succeed where others have failed, but it could yet yield the same self-same result. Fortunately, we are not without other options. I trust you haven't forgotten Inquisitor Ghislaine. We have not. The mystery of how the heretic managed or remained undiscovered for so long has been much in our thoughts, as has the question of what steps might be taken to prevent a similar breach of security in the future. Accordingly, we conducted an exhaustive and covert evaluation of everyone in Whitebrim Front. Though some were found to have committed certain minor transgressions, we identified only one possible heretic. If this man has pledged himself to Iceheart's cause, he will have taken note of the movements of the Temple Knights and the Crystal Braves, and upon recognizing their intent, he may attempt to warn the heretics. The man's watch is to end soon, at which point he must report to Sir John Tremont in the yard. I would have you keep an eye on him. If he ventures beyond the walls, follow him discreetly. Should he meet with a heretic, do not interfere. Simply watch and listen. I have seen to it that the suspect knows nothing which could endanger our plans. You know, and I only just remembered, we were playing Black Mage for this patch. There. Yep, very discreet, Miku. Very, very discreet. Yep. That's what they told you to do. Was openly stare at him. And follow his movements. Yep. I regret to inform everyone who's ever met her that the Warrior of Light seems to be maybe a bit of an idiot. Honestly, thank God that they hadn't thought of the follow mechanic yet. Because no thank you. This would have been awful. Hey, hey, where in the seven hells are you? I'm freezing my bollocks off here. I'm here, you blundering oaf. Why are you late? Standing on the wall, why else? I have duties to fulfill, you know? Your sole duty is to the... Bloody Echo, lower your voice. They'll hear us in Whitebrim Front. Yes, of course. The Temple Knights are... in Snowcloak. This is what you bring me? We already knew about... Our comrades in Boulder Downs will use the tunnel dead before they know what's happening. Nevertheless, you waste my time again. Is that clear? Something about Boulder Downs and tunnels. Let's see. We're almost there, actually. Well, did your investigation bear fruit? I see. I shall have the man detained at once. His guilt is plain. Would that you could have heard their words more clearly. Yet, the few snatches you were able to make out are nonetheless enlightening. It would seem the heretics are aware of our operation and confident they can thwart it. Their comrades in Boulder Downs are key to their plans, which means it is key to our plans that they be rooted out and put to the sword. We have long suspected that the heretics use a network of secret tunnels to traverse the highlands undetected. Given what you overheard, I fear that Snowcloak may be riddled with such passageways, and that the heretics in Boulder Downs are planning to use them to take our forces unawares. Needless to say, we cannot allow that to happen. A contingent of House Durandare Knights are on patrol in the area, and I shall order them to begin searching for the heretics at once. But knowing nothing of our enemies' numbers or readiness, I cannot say for sure that they will be sufficient. It would put my mind at ease if you would consent to assist my knights with the search. I know they would take courage from the presence of so storied a warrior. Pray, rendezvous with them at Boulder Downs. If Halone is kind, we may catch these heretics before their plans come to fruition. Show them no mercy, Miku. The lives of our allies are at stake. Oh boy. That way. Then we have to actually fly through the tunnel. Barf. I think you can go over it, maybe? I don't know. Flight height's a little weird on this map. No, we can go over, okay. Where are they? There they are. Oh, no. They've paralyzed me. Gotta make sure they're not doing it again. As much as I actively dislike Black Mage, I do unfortunately have to admit that it does have really high DPS. It is quite strong as a class. Oh, they're there. This map needs to have 3 Aetherites in it. I am so tired of walking between these 3 spots. Okay. We are at the dungeon, believe it or not. Oh, other way. I was heading towards the ballista on top of that spire, thinking it was this. I really am not the biggest fan of this class, almost entirely because of the casting times. My knights sent no word of your coming, Miku. What has happened? What is that in your hand? I say this as somebody who mains Summoner, which can cheat its casting times basically constantly. By the Fury, those were veterans with years of service. And now they lie dead in the snow. Their bodies must be recovered and... No. We have not the men to spare. Not now. Not while Iceheart prepares to summon an abomination. The heretics you dispatched were not of sufficient number to contend with the combined strength of the Temple Knights and the Crystal Braves. There must be others, and I'll wager they are on their way to Snowcloak as we speak. To make matters worse, it seems the traitor you followed managed to pass the heretics something of value after all. The parchment you recovered is a timetable of the guardsmen's watches at our outpost in Snowcloak. The traitor was stationed there long before he aroused our suspicions. Would that we had caught him sooner. With this information, the heretics would know when the watch was weakest. They could use their tunnels with impunity and prepare their ambush. The timetable is not changed, you see. Of course, it will be changed now, but the heretics may already be in position. House Durandare must send reinforcements, even if it means withdrawing knights from the Stone Vigil. I can see no other way to safeguard the lives of our allies. Time is of the essence, Miku. While my knights make ready to depart, the heretics may take our allies in Snowcloak unaware. Superior training and equipment will avail them not if they are cut down ere their swords are drawn, but all is not yet lost. If you leave now, there may be still time to warn them. Make haste, I beseech you. Fly to Snowcloak and tell Sir Amaric everything we have discovered. Amaric is out at Snowcloak? That sounds like a disaster waiting to happen, but okay. We may actually clear Snowcloak with enough time to work on one of our crafting classes. I have prepared majority of them, to be honest. Miku, this is a welcome surprise, perhaps the only one thus far. As you can see, we still have yet to uncover any hidden... You have my gratitude. Truth be told, we suspected the heretics may be plotting such an attack. Now that we have confirmation, I shall place my knights on high alert. Has Commander Levier been informed? The Braves must be made aware. There you are. He was in earshot. It must be here, I am certain of it. Why else would they go to such lengths to defend Snowcloak? 'Tis but a pity that this discovery comes when our enemy has us at such a disadvantage. Forewarned though we be, the heretics know the terrain far better than we. I dare not think how many are watching us at this very moment. Confound it, this is all wrong. Iceheart has us scrambling to save our own skins, when we should rightly be straining every sinew to find her and stop this damnable summoning. There she is! Come here, girl. What? Oh my god. Hello, Lise. Or, that's not Lise. That's Ida. That was close. They didn't hurt you, did they? Only my pride, Ida. There will be others nearby. We must see that they are given similarly warm welcome. Commander Levier. Oh. Papa Limo's here, too. There's been a development, sir. Together with the Temple Knights, we have secured the entrances to some half-dozen tunnels after spotting the enemy breaking the surface, but that is not all. Sir, we think one of them may be important. Clearly, the heretics near flung themselves upon our swords to defend it. Completely different character. That's who Lise is. Aha, just as I suspected. Amongst this warren of tunnels lies the entrance to Iceheart's lair. Summon the others. We're going in. A moment, Alfino. The tunnel in question is barely wide enough for 2 men abreast. We cannot say with any certainty where it leads, much less what is waiting for us there. Furthermore, we have no way of knowing how many heretics are still lurking here on the surface. What if they were to converge on this point after we entered into the tunnel? For all we know, we could be funneling our forces into a trap. I take your point. If the tunnel is indeed as narrow as you say, greater numbers would be more of a hindrance than a help. Should we encounter difficulty, our own allies would become an obstacle to escape. Ahem. A change of plans. While we rendezvous with Sir Amaric and keep the heretics at bay here, you will go wherever that tunnel leads. Oh, thanks. If you find Iceheart at the end of it, do not let her escape. You venture into the unknown, So see that you are prepared for anything. I suggest that you call upon your allies, though not too many, or Papalymo will sulk. Where? Oh, right here. Entrance to the tunnel, madam? It's just over there. Had we not seen the heretics breaking the surface, we would never have noticed it. Per Sir Amaric's orders, we stand guard outside. Please be aware that even should you encounter significant resistance, we cannot leave our post. And there's Snowcloak. It's like a really strange reveal too, because personally, I don't consider what happens there to be like that impactful of a spoiler, just because of like how weirdly out of nowhere it is. It's a very strange plot development that I've always been kind of confused why they put so much emphasis on it, you know? Like, I get it's really important to the character, right? But as far as plot developments go, it's like it's just an odd one. Anyways, we're now doing Goldsmith until this queue pops. Right, okay, Goldsmith, yeah, Goldsmith is this one. Just gonna grab the next thing we need. Hello, Serendipity. Do not believe what just happened, Miku. Gigi touched my bottom. I was assisting with one of my goldsmiths when he reached out and grabbed it without warning. Then he has the gall to say that my bottom lacks sufficient shape and tone. I feel so violated and insulted. I'm glad Robert wasn't here to... Oh, that reminds me. Robert was back again with another commission. This time, he wants a pair of fang earrings and a brass gorget made. And not just by any goldsmith, mind you. He specifically requested the artisan who crafted the copper rings, and that's you, Miku. He must be really impressed by your work. When the accessories are ready, pray present them for my inspection. I want to ensure Robert is completely satisfied. I also need the brass gorget. Okay. Impressive work, Miku. You clearly have an affinity for brass. The fine touches on these earrings in particular are... Oh my god. Fangs, brass, this presents a dilemma. I should not like these items, but they feel fresh. Your numerous mistakes, when taken together, give them an endearing quality. I am reminded of Serendipity. Her meager bosom and untoned buttocks are... Gigi. I'll have you know that my bosom is quite ample and my bottom is as firm as can be. I simply don't wear clothing that... Wait, this has nothing to do with anything, and I refuse to be party to a debate over my own body parts. We were talking about the earrings and the gorget you made, Miku. Both called for brass, which is more useful than you may realize. While it isn't the fanciest metal around, it can be made to resemble gold in appearance if shaped and polished well. And despite Gigi's comments, I believe you've done an excellent job. Robert would doubtless agree. Since he requested that you make these items, I suppose you should be the one to deliver them. You'll find him outside as before. I think we should punt the little creature, but, you know, Then the questline gets much less interesting, so... Good to see you again, Miku. I take it the earrings and the gorget are ready. By the gods, the craftsmanship is exquisite. This isn't gear to be worn, but art to be admired. It is of little wonder that Serendipity was named Guildmaster at such a young age. She is a woman of incomparable talent and a rare beauty besides. What? It was you who crafted these? Well now, this is an unexpected development. I'll have to keep my eye on both you and your lovely Guildmaster. My thanks, Miku. He thought it was my handiwork. I don't know what to say. For a customer to mistake your work for mine speaks for your to your growth as a goldsmith. At the rate you're improving, I can only imagine what customers will be saying about you years from now. Oh, Miku. Oh, gods, you should have seen it. It was glorious. A golden brown apple tart, freshly baked by a Bismarck-trained chef. I was saving it for an afternoon snack, but the moment I turned my back, That little terror ate it. He can eat? GG ate it. Mammoths can't even taste food. And then he had the nerve to criticize my diet, saying it would lead to further deviation from conventional standards of beauty. Gods, I just... Pardon my outburst. That's not why you're here. Keeping your skills sharp, I trust. You know, it occurs to me that the past 2 tasks I gave you weren't proper lessons, so how about I teach you something new? What do you know about materia? Wait, don't answer that. Even if you're familiar with it, it is my duty as a guildmaster to instruct you in its applications in our craft. Let's review the basics. I don't want to. Not any item, mind you, but a staghorn staff, which I would have you craft yourself. This particular staff may prove difficult to construct, if only because the requisite horns must be cut from antelopes, which are not native to Thanalan. If you wish to purchase some, you might have some luck searching over at the Sapphire Avenue Exchange. If that doesn't yield what you seek, a trip to Gridania may be in order. There are numerous types of materia out there, but it's entirely up to you what you use. I'm only concerned about your ability to attach it, after all. Oh, and I almost forgot, the most important part. If all this talk of materia makes absolutely no sense, you could go to Central Thanalan and learn from Master Munimix himself, though, to be honest, I didn't understand a word of what he said. No questions? Splendid. Off you go, Miku. Yep, let me just go craft that real quick, and done. How goes your endeavor to attach materia? Stage for Goldsmith 2, where I've been wondering whether or not this quest has been setting these 2 up. Oh. I don't know. I've never paid attention to these. The only quest line for the Crafters and Gatherers I paid attention to when I did them on my main was Alchemist, because I know the Alchemist one is really good. So a lot of these, it's my first time experiencing them. The crystallized essence of past experience, so easily inherited. This is all rather silly. Would it not be more simple to attach materia directly to self? Gigi would gladly try inserting crystals into Greenhorn's skull. No, bad Gigi. That isn't how materia works. Oh, please don't misunderstand him, Miku. I'm certain he means well. Nope. I don't think that, actually. As for your staff, it's very well made and the materia is perfectly melded. Nicely done. Perhaps you're wondering who would prefer a staff with a headpiece of bone over one studded with jewels, while the thaumaturges favor such equipment. Fangs and horns are the weapons of beasts, used to kill and defend. Few materials are better suited than these for channeling the dark arts, or so I understand. I'm the furthest thing there is from a trained thaumaturge, but even I can sense the arcane magics residing in this staff. Anyway, I trust you've learned something interesting today about the importance of searching the markets and how to handle materia. I hope this knowledge serves you well in your future endeavors. Oh, we leveled up. Sounds like some Garlean body mod BS. I'm amazed they've never done it. I am, like, shocked that that isn't a thing I've heard of them doing. To be fair, we don't know how they make half the monsters they make. There could be materia involved. Oh, Miku, I was just hoping you would come by. Ah! No! Hold on. Now I have to abandon this. Black Mage. It's alright, we got through 2 Goldsmith Quests. That's, quite a lot. Kind of. Alright, welcome to Snowcloak. That is quite the Rogadin. Is that the Santa beard? Oh, we going. Oh, we running. This is what I mean by Snowcloak has some giant-ass pulls you can manage. You can pull just an unbelievable number of monsters. He is quite dapper. I also like that he's using the gigantic sages, whatever they are, wings, no lifts. I always thought those were called wings until I pulled the card for them out of the Magic the Gathering set. And then I was like, wait, these have like a real name? Honestly, we've got a well-dressed group in here. Not a guarantee in our own Reborn content. Ah, the boss. This guy, if I remember right, introduces the keep moving, like, freezing ice storm mechanic. The game, yeah, snowdrift. You have to be moving during this, if I remember right. To not take a bunch of damage and get, like, stacks of freezing. Yeah, you know, this is late ARR. Oh, and I've fucked up my rotation, which is funny. I was supposed to use mana font, but I didn't. Oh well. Oh, there's that frozen stack. It doesn't matter. We're not freezing. Wow, actually fucking up my rotation didn't matter at all either. That guy died fast. I'm opening this. Oh, it's the antique, like, crap. Oh, God. Okay. Never mind. I don't want anything to do with that. I don't even know where you're supposed to exchange that stuff. I just know that it's exchanged for items rather than an item itself, which means I can't turn it in for company seals when it pops up. Okay. The achievement hunter. Oh. That's a weird spot for that to be. No wonder I've never found it. Like, why would I look there? Now, I've been playing this game long enough to remember this guy before the rework. As he stands right now, he's just like kind of a pretty standard boss where you run away from some telegraphed AoEs in a unique and interesting way. The old version of this boss fight was complete crap. Just absolutely worthless. There would be like Spriggans running around, and you had to aim his attack that like let out the freezing air for the snowballs, and you'd have to aim them at the Spriggans. And that would freeze them into snowballs. This is one of the most justified boss reworks they've ever done. It was much more complicated, and everyone messed it up all the time. So they just like got rid of the whole mechanic. People would start killing the Spriggans was the problem, right? Like, I think it was like you needed to hide behind them or something. Like when they were frozen. It's in Mordona. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. I'm out here DPSing like I'm already fighting that Cyclops thing that comes out. There he is. Oh, okay. Okay, he didn't get it off? That's actually shocking. Okay. And we're on to the boss. Probably not. I'll go to 12. We'll just probably work on Goldsmith Quests after the duty. As we normally do. Just like some crafter stuff. For this mech, all you gotta do is hide behind these things. I like to hide a bit far back because they tend to explode after they're done. And it's really just like a line of sight thing, so you don't really need to stand that close. Can you tell I've been in here an ungodly amount? This is like one of the most common duties in the roulette for high level stuff. Oh yeah, let's do Mana Font. I forget about that thing constantly. Oh, never mind, I'm frozen. Quite the position Miku is in. She has that gamer neck when she gets hit like that. Oh. Okay. I'm getting a lot of fire starter procs tonight. The class is normally not this nice to me. And we win. Hey, you know, thanks for watching. Thanks for stopping by. I'll get to the tank. They did good. There it is! There it is! Finally!
The tales do not do you justice, warrior of light. Yes, I know who you are, and you know who I am. I was given the name Izel, but I earned the name Iceheart.
We tried everything to dig up her birth name. Lady Iceheart, the second we meet her. My name's Izel, by the way.
Of bloodshed, of sorrow. You would see it continue, O noble warrior of light. I would not. I will not. I will bring an end to this war between dragon and man, no matter the cost. In time, you will come to understand that what we do for the greater good. For Eorzea, for Hydaelyn.
Okay, we're gonna leave Alfino here. Because we have something to do. Something very important. The evil axe that I hate is now ready for its next and penultimate update or upgrade. So we're almost done with this thing, okay? After this, we have one more step and a handful of quests that I need to prepare for still, but get there when we get there. I will not be reading any of the dialogue from these quests, because I'll just say that I haven't been paying attention to any of them at all. I don't particularly care. Now I just need you and you. These items are quite difficult to get to. Oh, hello, Jay. Yeah, nope. Don't care. Oh my god. We've got the Book of Skylight, Zodium, the Zodiac Scroll, and the Flawless Alexandrite. And now we head to the Fallgourd Float and deliver these and finally upgrade our stupid axe. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have it not equipped, so the Mithrite axe I will still need. Mithrite axe is 115. The Bravura Nexus will finally be stronger than the Mithrite War Axe. Incredible. Or I suppose, I don't think it's going to be the Bravura after tonight. It's changing. I believe is it you that I have to talk to? Hold on. What step are we on? We're on, I just said it out loud. Just want to make sure. Yeah, Nexus. Zodiac. Zenith. Let's see. Zodiac. Nexus. And then let's bring the 4 special materials to Geralt. Okay. The one-time quest is Dark Materia. Oh. We have to be equipped with it. Okay, I wish they would just remain consistent. So, you found all 4 bits and pieces, eh? How do I know? Well, it's written all over your smug face. Does Geralt speak true, my friend? Have you acquired all the items? Huzzah! Come, my friends, let us recreate that arm of yore. We ain't there just yet, Jalzan. I can forge a host with the raw materials what Miku brought quick as you please, but all we'll have then is a fancy weapon without the essence of a legendary arm. We've still got to join it with special materia. By my reckoning, it's the only way to infuse our new host with the power of souls. How do you propose we fashion this materia? Should Miku gather 10 pieces of each form of Atma? No, mayhap 20? 50? Please, no. Surely materia composed of 50 pieces would be sufficient. What the hells are you on about, old man? The answer's right in front of your eyes, the bleeding relic itself. Aye, you and Miku have done a fine job of filling the thing up with soul energy just as the ancients did. Just turn all that into materia and meld it with our new host. Make the souls ascend into an arm of legend. 'Tis an awful amount of energy to deal with, though. Your average old craftsman would make a right old mess of me finest smithin' and disperse the souls to boot. What we need is a real master of materia, if you catch me drift. Master Mutamix, but of course, who else but he could create such potent materia? Come, Miku, you must go to the bonfire and ask his aid at once. Surely he will not refuse the challenge. How many steps is this quest? 2. It is 2 quests. I have had to come here an unreasonable number of times, I think. Hello, Mutamix. Hubertin and Adkin trade many tongue flaps about sphere scrolls, but today Uplander seeks materia knowings of Mutamix. Uplander wants to make legendary Fighty Tool into materia interesting. Fighty Tool full of airy self become amazing materia, and with the knowings in Mutamix's brain case, impossible. But Mutamix has shiver shakes. It is very big chance game. Even with the knowings of Mutamix, cannot give word bond of success. Brain case filled with doubtful buzzing muchly. May go very, very unrightly. If Mutamix is failing, legendary Fighty Tool will turn to bitty bits. Airy self go bye-bye too. But we'll give hand lending if Uplander is unweak of bladder. Give hail call and Mutamix make trip to your stay place. Well, let's see. Which will upgrade your relic to the Zodiac Brave step. Yep. Making sure I know exactly what's upcoming. After this, I just have to run a handful of dungeons a few times. So by next week, we will be ready to finish this stupid axe. And I can never, ever think about it again. Oh my god. It'll be so nice to be free. The last few steps haven't been as bad as the first handful. The first handful were crimes. What did Mutamix have to say? Knew we couldn't say no to a challenge like this. And that means everything's set for the great show. I've got me forge fired up. All that's left is for Jalzan to be willing. Well, me, adventurer and friend, what say we recreate us a legendary arm? Uh-huh. Talk to Jalzan, it looks like. The wiki is wrong about this step. Select Zodiac weapon recreation. There it is. Oh my god. Please take all 4 of these stupid objects off of my hands. Zodiac weapon we make with these will be finer than aught else in the land. If you are firm in your purpose, let us begin. There it is. Culmination of our efforts is so close at hand, Miku. Come, let us call Master Mutamix and then to work. So, I'm to be the first. Well, just watch what I can do with this old hammer and anvil. I'll forge the host for the Zodiac weapon, what's got no equal in all of Eorzea. Whew, well, 'tis done. Behold, the weapon precisely as it was in the days of yore. All that's left is to meld the materia to it. Well, Master Mutamix, I believe that is your area of expertise. Will you transform Miku's relic into materia? This relic's a very mighty fighty tool, full of airy self. Mutamix has many shiver shakes. Cannot give word bond. The secret joining skill of Mutamix will be success. If fail, fighty tool will turn to bitty bits. Please be warned, the chance of success for turning your relic weapon nexus into materia is 1.4%. Your relic will be lost if the process fails. Yes. Please be warned, the chance of success for turning a relic weapon nexus into materia is 1.4%. Your relic will be lost if the process fails. Are you certain you wish to proceed? Yes. That's the spirit. Well, you heard the bold last, Mutamix. Make the relic into materia. Then let the chance game of many heart thumps begin. Giant Eyes, does Mutamix true see? The relic fighting tool of Uplander is now materia. Mutamix has success muchly. They're fucking with us. That is a 100% chance to succeed. I knew it had, oh my god, I knew you had it in you, Mutamix. All that remains is for us to join the relic made materia to Geralt's Zodiac weapon host. Now I shall attempt to complete the arm with the Zodiac Scroll and Flawless Alexandrite. There it is! An ancient hero seized a weapon like this from a void-sent lord. At the time it was taken, legend tells us it was a sword, yet later it transformed to match the bent of its wielder and became a mighty battle axe. Come, take up your Ragnarok, born of the star's radiance, forged through hero's might and imbued with soul's blessing. Finally. It doesn't even glow. You're killing me. You're killing me, Jalzan. You're killing me. Ah, Miku, you see before you a man content. My studies are complete, and I am now composing my master treaty on the enhancement of arms through soul infusion. Once I have finished, I intend to return to my homeland. My journey of discovery, in other words, now draws to a close. I tell you, though, the research I performed here was most meaningful of my career. 'Twas your deeds that led me to these new heights, and you have my deepest gratitude. Ah, and I must not forget to thank Geralt. I have an exquisite liquor from my own private cellar, a small token of my appreciation. Might I ask you to deliver it? It would be altogether too embarrassing to give it to him myself. Hello, Geralt. Ah, present from Jalzahn now, is it? You'd think the bugger'd thank me in the flesh, but I'll have his gift all the same. I'm still dreaming of the last bottle's fiery kick. Just as well you're here, though. I've been meaning to have a word with you about your Zodiac weapon. See, I got curious as to the trials of the Braves, so I bargain a bit with Rowena, and I get myself a complete set from the She-Devil. I even laid my hands on the last tome of the series, the Book of Netherdark. What's written there surprised the living hells out of me. Seems the original Zodiac weapons each had a self all their own, a sentience shaped by the bearer's very soul. The arms grew mightier and easier to wield to their own will, based on nothing but the character and needs of their heroes. Weren't just something as simple as having a piece of steel you've grown accustomed to. Those weapons were like extensions of the Braves' bodies. Aye, 'tis why they were the greatest arms of their own ages, and why they were lost. Can hardly pass a weapon down through the generations if no other bugger can wield it for shite, can ya? Geralt, this is hardly what I expected to hear upon coming to bid you farewell. Tell me, do you think this tale true? Aye, God's help me, I do, and I even reckon there's a decent chance the recreated Zodiac weapon can do the very same thing. Mind you, any other arm, and you'd be a fool to try, but Miku's weapon got soul and light in it, so I'd wager me next 6 pints of mead that it's got some form of sentience already. I don't like this line of upgrading. I actually think making the axe sentient is a bad idea, but okay. I'm of the mind that it ain't been truly awakened yet. 'Tis a strange concept, but I suppose we've encountered stranger in our travails. Moreover, this notion of sentience could be the origin of how these arms came to achieve their legendary status. A weapon able to choose its wielder by its own will. Fascinating. Simply fascinating. Why, I can imagine no truer ally. It ain't like to keep your company with its banter in Jalzahn. We're talking about forging an unbreakable bond twixt the souls of wielder and the weapon. Well, Miku, you've come this far. Keen on seeing this through? Sure. Dear me, it would seem as though a postponement to my homewards journey is in order. We must set this venture forthwith. I'm glad of the help, Jalzahn, but starting out on that venture, is easier said than done. Before aught else, we've got to crack how to awaken the sleeping sentience in Miku's arm. Indeed, indeed. Mayhap we can awaken the soul within the arm via some substance alike in character. Creating resonance betwixt souls can allow for the transference of certain qualities, after all. Atma, for instance, has no sentience of its own to speak of. Yet, as the crystallized soul of a living being, it can contain a particular sense, an aspect of consciousness, if you will. Alas, I fear Atma's too weak. However, some stronger variety of crystallized soul may be capable of bestowing its sense unto the slumbering sentience. Of course, for the weapon to profit by this, simply possessing the crystal will not be enough. The sense will not magically transfer itself. We will have to find a way to make the soul without connect the soul within. Wielding the weapon whilst the crystallized soul is near could be the answer, or we might also... Wait. The first thing you said about wielding the weapon, that ain't half bad. And it just so happens I have an idea about where you might get the kind of crystallized souls you're talking about. Miku, you'll need to pay Rowena a visit. Of course, it ain't her you want, but her introduction to a bloke called Remen. The man handles arcane goods and comes around to Rowena's place every now and again, not regular like though. Remen's one what only wheels and deals in the shadows. Geralt, you're acquainted with the merchant of the black market? I knew your shady past would aid us at some point. There's no time to waste, Miku. Pray, see about arranging this introduction. This sounds like it's going to take forever, but okay. We're on Rise and Shine. So... Speak with Rowena. Okay, it's 3 more steps, so it's not going to take that long. Let me guess, you're here on account of Geralt and some weapon or another. How close am I? Well, at least now I know why Geralt has a hankering for those old tomes. Like a starved cat after a plump mouse he was. When that man starts working, there ain't naught in this realm can stop him. Ain't changed a bit from when we were traveling around. Oh, but that's, what's it we were talking about again? Oh, that's right. You were hunting for Remen. course. Well, I reckon he's the man you want. Given what you're after. Of course, the problem ain't finding him. It's the getting him to help you part. See, a fair ways back, Remen lent Geralt a pretty lump of money. Time comes to repay it, and Geralt tries to run. Certain words are said, certain bottles thrown. Needless to say, Remen hates the blacksmith more than Warble Bile. I ended up repaying the sum Geralt owns, but Remen's kept that grudge smoldering inside of him for nigh on 20 years. I understand why well enough, I suppose. Could have bought 10 Mansas in the lavender bed with what Geralt took. Conjure any man who'd be hesitant to forgive and forget after that. Now that you know the particulars, I'll give you your introduction, but best to keep in mind that folk who work in the shadows are real sticklers for their code. Won't deal with a soul what's broken it, nor their friends, so run on back to Harrismill and tell Geralt that Remen's in his usual haunt. But I don't think that merchant will touch you with a 10-fold pull unless the dolt apologizes in full. Let's see. Okay. This step is going to be a little bit more involved than I remember, but that's fine. I'm gonna need 600 poetic. Oh, okay, yeah, I have 600 poetics. I can do 600 poetics. And for once, this one might actually kind of be worth it, because 600 poetics at this point would get me a item level 130 weapon, whereas 600 poetics spent on this gets me an item level 135 weapon. Don't do this. Don't be like me. Don't do this to yourself. Respect yourself more. What's this about Remen? Just like a gill-pinching bastard to not deal with you unless I grovel at his bloody feet. You'd think it water under the bridge by now. It's been full 20 years since, it ain't the money, is it? It's the woman. Never you bleedin' well mind who. Point is, Remen won't just forgive me, no matter how long or loud I apologize. Have you considered that a gift may say more than words can, Geralt? Surely you know of something dear to him. You heard all that, did you? As it happens, I can't rightly remember what Remen likes, save for a bottle of liquor or 3. That fiery liquor I gave you is the answer, is it not? Now, don't talk nonsense. It ain't every day I can drink such fine spirits. That liquor's mine, and mine it's gonna stay. Kind of amazed you didn't drink it in the time it took me to get back here. Fine, for the sake of the bloody Zodiac weapon, I'll part with me bottle of sunshine. You will not regret this, Geralt. Though I am sorry to say, the bottle represents the last of the spirits I brought from Radzat Han. Gods damn it all, please, Jalzahn, at least tell me you've not run out of the ingredients you'll need to brew a potion. I have not. Though all of my alchemical equipment is now buried at the bottom of my luggage, but pray tell, what would you have me do with them? Something I read in the Trials of the Braves. For now, let's just say we'll need a potion or the like if this awakening business goes to plan. Now, Miku, if Rowena said Remen's in his usual haunt, then you'll need to make your way to Swiftperch. Once you find the bloke, you'll need to give him... Just give him the bottle of sunshine and say it's from me. Get yourself some of what he's dealing, and then hie off to battles. Sense will pass to get your weapon through soul resonance, and the more blows you strike, the sooner its sentience will start to wake. No doubt the Zodiac Glass will aid you in taking measurements of the soul resonance. Once you have imbued your arm with enough senses, return to me, and I will do my utmost to see its potential realized. Alright, this next step, this guy in Swiftperch will sell us Mahatma items, which we place inside of our relic. And then when we place them inside of our relic, we have to run a certain number of duties, it's typically about 2, to fill it, and then we can grab another, and we have to repeat that process 12 times. Good morning, Miku, isn't it? So I thought. I've been expecting you. Seems like we won't be getting to the armorer quest tonight. Oh well. Ah, this must be Geralt's token of apology. What an exotic aroma. I'm afraid no bottle of liquor, be it ever so fine, can quell the hate I bear that man. However, I will accept this olive branch nonetheless. But surely, you came as much to rouse something from slumber as to lay an old grudge to rest. No need to explain, not to a man with a web of 1,000 eyes and ears. You seek to awaken the sentience nestled within your zodiac weapon, or am I wrong? So I thought. I must say, even I was surprised to hear that Geralt succeeded in recreating a Zodiac Grave's arm, and amazed to learn the weapon concealed yet another secret. Now, all of my wares, Mahatma, should serve best to bring that secret to light. I have 12 types all told, each the shard of a soul with a distinct sense contained within. I cannot say if it will be what Geralt was expecting, but attaching each of them to your weapon in careful order should do something. As one who once sweated over the anvil, I am intrigued to see what the merchant in me, however, cannot give Mahatma away for free. My price is elegant tomestones of poetics. Rowena will never more be mine, but I would still aid her with these where I can. And you needn't worry about me. I may deal from the shadows, but I dislike shadowy dealings. When you're ready to purchase Mahatma, simply say the word and produce the elegant tomestones, of course. Alright, final chapter begins. Okay, Mahatma exchange. Grab the Mahatma of the Ram. These are 50 each. Okay. We're left with a really awkward 4 minutes left that I think we're just gonna call. I'm gonna head back to the inn room. Next time on stream, we're tackling the Coils of Bahamut, the 8-man raid series for A Realm Reborn. That is very important. It may not be required, but it has a lot of character development for the twins, as well as a lot of important character appearances. So we'll be unsyncing it. I don't imagine it'll take more than like an hour, so it won't be that long of next stream. We'll be dedicating some time to some side quests next time. Otherwise, though, let's take care of the items I've got sitting around in my inventory, and then we'll deal with this. I don't know what either of them are carrying money-wise. Not much. Okay. This worth anything? Nope. This worth anything? Nope. This worth anything? A little bit. We can put it up. Iron ingots aren't worth much either. I'm actually gonna... I don't know if I'll need it. I'm gonna entrust that to Teto. Or not. I guess we'll do Niru. Niru might have a slot for these already. Oh, nope. Yeah, she did. Okay. Good to know. Okay. With that, we're gonna end. Again, saying it for the good of everyone. Next week is Coils, so this is a big event. It's big and exciting, so look forward to Coils. And after that, we'll just be tackling some side quests. We'll be finishing the Bravura, or the Ragnarok now, as it's called. And that's it, I believe. yeah, that's all I've got for the evening. Just gonna be normally logging out. I have business in the game still after stream. Okay, and we're gonna do that. And okay. Not gonna do a long post stream or anything. Just gonna say thank you everyone for watching. This was super fun. Lots of interesting stuff. The plot's picking up. I'm very happy. Thank you everyone for watching. Really, thank you. And that's all I've got. Have a good night, everybody.